after a female gets over 30 and hits those mid-30 years, it's really tough to keep the career going. And I am a creative person, and I do feel like I have talents in other areas. And I thought, screw it. I'm not going to sit around and wait for a line here and a line there on a couple of shows. I can't put all my eggs in that basket. And either I produce myself, and I had produced a couple of things in New York City when I was much younger, but I didn't want to do that either. And so I just went out and did other things. And I've worked along the way. I mean, if somebody calls me up and says, be in our TV show, I'll do it, But
right,
I wasn't going to go, sit for hours in a room and then, not get the part. And that's really, fans and people that aren't in the business don't know how hard it is to be an actor.
Oh, I know.
You get dressed, you learn your lines, then you get dressed, figure out what the character should be wearing, or you want to give a hint of it. And then you drive a couple of hours and you pay to park. And then sometimes you walk another half hour to get in because they don't give you a driving pass. And then you sit there for an hour. I went to an audition the other day and the casting director kept me waiting 2 hours before I got in. And I finally just said, I'm not doing it. So I just walked away. I thought, no, I'm not sitting here I'm on time and I sit there for 2 hours. That is, again, I mean, I have my own boundaries and my own self-pride. And sometimes it's just too hard. And then you sit there for 2 hours, you go in and you read for 5 seconds, and then you leave, and they've already offered the part to some name, and they're waiting to know if the name wants the part. And then you weren't even going to get it in the first place. And by the way, I've been that name that they've offered the part to, where I know that other girls have gone and they've done that whole process. And I know of a couple of parts that I was already offered the part, but they still had the casting call. And I eventually took the part. So all those girls who did that process didn't have a chance to begin with. I don't think I've ever opened up and talked about the nasty politics of how it all works. But, you got to be tough to sit that out and to decide to do that with your life.
It's very hard. I mean, it looks easy when the final film is done, but you're right. It's a lot of work.
It's hard. And it's a lot of rejection. You go and you go and you go, and then you get one. And you go, okay, I'm on my way. And then nothing happens. You do the show, and then, and then it's a wrap. And you drive home alone, and you go, oh, I just finished. Now when's the next? And it whets your appetite. And then you go, okay, when is the next one? And then you could wait another year or two. And then, and it's not just me. I mean, I am friends with some major, major names, movie stars in the business. I just did the Oprah show with Morgan Fairchild, who invited me to be her guest on Where Are They Now? And it's not just me. I mean, this is the way it works.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I think it's really a great thing that you've diversified to have other things to do, and they're creative, and they're really going to I think they make things easier for you as far as having an income.
Yes, definitely. But, I in 1984, things were slowing down acting-wise, and I have a son. And I went, okay, now what am I going to do? So I got a camera. I knew light from the theater. I didn't want to be on the road, and I can always act in the theater. But I did a tour with Donald O'Connor, and he stayed with I was divorced, but when he was 1. So, when he stayed with his father, but he was not happy. And I was on the road with Donald O'Connor for a year doing theater. And I came back, and things were just a mess. And I said, wow, I've got to figure out a way to stay in L.A. during these formative years. And so I have always known how to light things. I started in the theater at the age of 13, and I always was taking pictures with cameras when I was a little bitty girl. I thought, I think I'll be a photographer. I think that would be fun. And man, I started making money at it like in 2 weeks. I never even took a photography class. I read the manual, figured out how to load the film, started shooting a few actor friends of mine. Dennis Haskins from Saved by the Bell was my roommate once upon a time, and I called him and I said, Dennis, let me shoot a couple of pictures of you and see if I can get some good headshots. And I did. Then that segued into album covers in Nashville and fashion in Paris and London and New York, and I just had a ball. Turn on the music.
Wow.
I put my hair in a bun and put on some overalls and some tennis shoes. Don't have to look great. And I'm behind the camera, and I love being behind the camera as much as being in front of the camera, maybe more.
Congratulations.
Well, you have a lot more control.
Well, yeah, and I'm probably, I guess, in the long run, I became in 2005, I won one of the top photography awards in Los Angeles. So, I don't. And the only thing about diversifying is that most people only want to see you as one thing, and they get confused. Well, is she a photographer, or is she a singer, nightclubs a performer, or is she an actress? Well, in Cut, I get to sing in my nightclub act and act in two different time periods in the film. And I love that because people can actually say, oh, she does that. Oh, and she does that,
I understand that Cut is making its theatrical release on February 6th, which is coming up fast.
Yes, it is.
Where is it going to be shown, do you know?
Well, it's opening, the opening night is February 13th at the Arena Theater in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. And it just was rated number 4 best horror movie of 2014 in the M ratings. So I am so excited about this movie.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's won a couple of big film festivals, and then in first place. And then this movie rating is kind of like one of the biggest ones. It may take on a life of itself like The Hills Have Eyes did. When I shot it, when we filmed it, I thought of it that I didn't think much, just like when we did The Hills Have Eyes, I'm not aware or thinking about what's the outcome going to be. Is this going to be a success, or is this just going to be another day on the set? And so when I was filming it with Gabrielle Stone and David Roundtree and David Banks, I'm going, is this just another day on the set? But now that it's winning the festivals and has been given this rating of, and a couple of the movies that were in first and second place weren't even made in the United States. They are foreign films. So this is, in the world, it has been rated number 4 best horror movie in 2014.
Wow.
Not just California or not just the United States. So it's possible that Cut will take on a life of its own, and that would just thrill me to death because I play a character named Suze Lanier from The Hills Have Eyes, grown-up film director, horror film director, and my film is starring Gabrielle Stone, Dee Wallace's real-life daughter. Mm-hmm. So that's the character. I play myself in it, which is very cool. And so when it opens, we'll see how it's going to play for about a week in Hollywood. It's already gotten VOD and DVD distribution, and we'll see what happens. You know, you never know till it's launched, and then you see what happens with it, you know.
Yep.
But it is very scary. It's very classy. It's got a lot of humor in it, and, like, really funny, and very, very scary. And then the ending, you just go, oh, my God, no. That is so weird. And so surprise ending. I'm proud of this. If one has to do horror, I'm very proud of this horror movie because it's very well done. And it's a classy one. I thought The Hills Have Eyes had its own class to it. You know, it's not just slasher, you know. And I hate slash for slash sake. I think that to me is not art, and it's not filmmaking. It's exploitation and close to pornography. But there's, you know, Cut is very sexy. Those scenes do not involve me, but not at this age. But it's very classy, and it's got plenty of sex in it. But it's not just let's see how we can cut somebody's, you know, breast off or something. You know, I don't consider that art, by the way.
Well, I'm going to have to try to make an extended effort to come up there and see this.
It's a really good movie. And you know what? I was scared to death it wouldn't be. But I've been to the screening of it, and I went to the screening, and it was a full house. I didn't know very many people in the audience, and everybody just looked at each other and went, wow, okay, this is a good one. Well, you know, that theater's very small, and guess what? I just got invited yesterday. The arena. It's a small, you know, it's that small. You've been there, right, Joanne?
I'm trying to think, because I don't know L.A. that well, and I keep going up there for different things, and I end up in different places every time, and I don't know where I am.
It's across the street from Sadie's in Hollywood near Las Palmas and Cherokee and there. It's a small theater. It's next door to the Egyptian. I've seen you at the Egyptian.
Yeah,
you and I've met up at the Egyptian. It's next door to the Egyptian. It's a smaller theater than the Egyptian, and I really wish they had released it at the Egyptian because that would have been a better theater to release it.
Definitely.
It's going to be, the arena is going to be packed, and I only got my invitation yesterday. So that's why, for one reason, that's why.
Well, I can't wait to see it. I'd do a review on it. So.
Oh, I look forward to that. I don't like to watch horror very much. It scares me. I guess that's the purpose. But, you know, when it starts getting really bloody and sadistic and masochistic and all those kind of things, it just, to me, you know, I'd rather watch, you know, Meet Me in Seattle or something. Forrest Gump. You know, I like lighthearted films if I'm going to be watching them, particularly alone. So
life is like a box.
I have to have. If I go to a horror movie, I would never go to one by myself.
You never know what you get inside.
No. You don't.
Probably my biggest problem is that I find them funny.
Well, yes. And you know what? To me, that's a good sign. To me, that's a sign of a pretty good horror movie when you know that they have been directed and done and acted a little bit tongue-in-cheek. You know, like we know this is, you know, we know this is stupid, you know, that we're doing this and it is funny. But there are some of them that are now being made that lack the humor that it takes for the audience to understand that everybody knows that this is you know, creative filmmaking. Like when I was a little girl, I loved Vincent Price. And I loved The Pit and the Pendulum, and some of those movies. The costumes were elaborate, and the acting was a little bit over the top. And you know, the woman lying there in the pendulum, almost, you know, chopping her in half. It was fun. It was fun, and it was funny, and it was scary, all at the same time. But when it's just slash for slash sake, and let's try to shock people and see how sadistic human beings can be. We have plenty of that by turning on the news. That to me is not entertainment. It's not funny. It's not art. And people that are making it need to look and see what kind of damage they may be doing to young people who look at it. You know, there needs to be a conscience of what we're creating. I'm getting ready to produce a really fabulous film, horror film, called The Witness, and it is filled with, Bill Oberst Jr. is attached, and who is a wonderful actor. He's mostly known in horror, and that is kind of, to me, not the best scenario because he's so versatile. He's so versatile as an artist and as an actor. He's a wonderful actor, and the script is really arty, and it's Southern, and I'm from Texas, and he's, from the South. We're all from the South, and it's a Southern piece, and it is so well written, and it's so much, there's a story, there's a beginning and a middle and an end, just like Cut, and you're going, oh my God, and what's going to happen? There's a little slashing in it, but it's very creative. And I'm playing a role in it as well, Sister Inez. And, I'm a preacher woman, and she's hysterical. So, I can't wait to try to get the rest of the funding for this one. And that's what I'm working on now. I'm also attached to another one that may get made called The Pale Horse. And it's very elegant. It's a horror movie, but very well written also, and very elegant. And I'm waiting to see if that's going to get made. But it's all you always have to get everything in place. Putting together, producing is a 48-hour-a-day job.
And you have a couple other movies that you've been working on, Area 51.
Yeah. I think that was released. I'm not so sure that's going to have any kind of. Paramount is working on the distribution of that, I think, and I don't know if that's going to have a life of its own. I know they did some refilming of it, rewriting of it. I don't even know if I will remain in it if it ever does get released. That nobody has heard a word about that one, but No Solicitors is with Eric Roberts, and that will probably have a release. And then also another one I did with Bill Oberst Jr. called Betrothed, and I play his wife in that one, and I think that one's going to be pretty good. So I look forward to the release of that one as well.
Scott and I both know Bill pretty well, and
he is, when you work as an actor with another good actor, it's like tennis pros that play tennis with each other, and you throw a ball and the other one kicks it back, and it's so much more fun when you're working as an actor, when you're working with someone as talented as Bill Oberst, because we have so much fun working together. Because we both can feel the moment and run with it. It's just fabulous to work with him.
I've been friends with Bill probably since 2010 when he first moved to Los Angeles, and from a film he did back in 2009, but lucky me, I get to actually work with Bill Oberts Jr. in a movie called Impure. So I'll get to meet Bill for the first time and work with Bill, so I'm kind of excited for that.
Congratulations. Thank you. Yeah, you'll really enjoy that. He's just great to work with. He's very serious, and he's one of the hardest working actors that I know in LA. It's a full-time job for him, and everything else comes second. And he is just great to work with. When he's on the set, he is in character, and he's not chit-chatting with everybody too much unless it's going to be a while before he works. He's very, very focused. You know, he's a detailed, focused actor. Every moment he does something with every moment that he's on film. Nice. Yeah, it's not just about spitting out the words with Bill Oberst. Anybody can do that. It's finding those integral moments, and man, can he do it. Yeah, we're happy to be working, and I'm happy that I've started doing it again, and now the types of characters that are available for me to play are completely different than the squeaky little ingenues I'm kind of known for. And now I'm getting to play, older, crusty, women. And those parts are much more interesting than the other ones. So I'm grateful that I'm getting offers to play, real, live, mature, real people. And the horror community is very supportive of each other. Some of the nicest people I've met are the horror actors and the horror fans and the people that promote it, like yourself and Scott. It's like people are really nice, and somebody looking in from the outside would think, ooh, they like horror. They can't possibly be nice people. Yeah. I love Alan Rowe Kelly. Did I say his name right? But yep. Yeah, I mean, we've all connected now on Facebook, so we support each other on Facebook, and it's like kind of family now, So yep. I just, I'm just blown away by my starting back into it after my husband passed away, Delaney Bramlett. And he's got a couple of songs in cut, too. The movie starts off with one of his songs. He produced Eric Clapton's first album. And so we did a lot of music together. And so when he passed in 2008, I didn't know what to do with myself. So I decided to go back and do what I've always done. And I'm so grateful that I'm beginning to get opportunities again to work in an art form that I absolutely love doing, And the characters are just getting, funkier. I lost one to Piper Laurie the other day, and that kind of pissed me off, It's like, because she's much older than me, and I'm thinking, okay, but it gives me hope. I mean, she's... So, anyway, there's a place to go with it. Somebody's got to have an old broad, in their movies. So an old broad. I'll play the grandmothers and the crusty old drunks. So happy to. I'm just, I love it's all fun.
Well, it's great to have you on today. I think you are a sweetheart.
Thank you. I've loved being on. And I want everybody to support Cut and follow me on Twitter, Suze, Suze, Lanier, Lanier, Bramlett, Bram, as in Mary, Lett, Facebook, Instagram. It's all there.
I have it all,
and
too.
And then we got
IMDb for sure. And check out my horror music video called Watch What You Asked For on YouTube. Suze Lanier Bramlett, Watch What You Asked For. It's a music video. I wrote the music, words and lyrics, and directed the music video starring myself, Michael Berryman, and Brooke Lewis, Miss Vampy.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a really fun, horror, funny music video about internet dating.
Nice. I gotta check that out.
You'll be amused. Michael was still living in in LA, and I said, I'm going to do a music video. He said, oh, I want to be in it. I said, are you kidding? He said, no. I said, you're in it. And so the two of us star in it, and Brooke is in it too. It's really cute. And I'm getting ready to direct a bunch more of them. I have a CD out called Swamp Cabaret. And there are 15 songs. It's the soundtrack of my one-woman show. It's a lot of rock and blues. I just got back from Florida doing B.B. King's Ladies of the Blues show. So I'm as involved in music, most definitely, as I am in acting. And so also my CD is available on CD Baby, iTunes, anything you want. It's called Swamp, like Swampland Cabaret, because I'm kind of from the South and a little bit theatrical. The movie with Bill Oberst, if we can get all the rest of the funding for it, very swampland. It's all taking place in the swamp. So my mom grew up in the swampland in East Texas, and I'm very into that culture. Well, I love you guys. Thank you. I mean, I'm just now I'm on my comeback, so I need all the help I can get.
Hey, we are here to help whoever needs our help, to be honest with you.
This is my first interview in a while, and I'm glad I did it because Susie is a doll baby.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're very high on my pedestal, along with Lynn Lowry now.
Oh, good. Lynn and I are friends. I met her at a convention, and she's also, she's just a doll. I adore her. She's come to my music shows before, and we do support each other.
I love Lynn.
Yeah.
She loves me. Mention my name. Say Scott Guider. She'll know who I am.
All right. I will. I will definitely do that. I haven't seen her in a couple of weeks, but
she might kiss and hug you and thinking it's me, but hey.
Honey, Lynn can kiss and hug me anytime she wants.
I can say this has been one of the more fun interviews that we've done.
Oh, good.
So
I try to tell the truth. I just try to be honest and tell the truth, and usually the truth is much more interesting than if you make something up. Like some of the behind-the-scenes stuff that people don't have the balls to actually tell, And I think it's, what have I got to lose? I don't see Wes Craven calling me every minute to star in his next movie. So, I don't even know if he's doing a next movie. I hope he is, but, anyway, he's a wonderful director. By the way, I'm not saying anything negative about him. There was some funky politics to The Hills Have Eyes, but...
politics always sucks. That's all I can say. It always sucks. Somebody gets screwed. Somebody obviously gets screwed one way or the other, so... I'm very grateful. I'm sure I've said it before to Wes, but I am really grateful that he gave me that opportunity and cast me as Brenda. I met Delaney, my husband, through The Hills Have Eyes. He saw it at a drive-in the night before I went to see him sing at the Troubadour in Hollywood in 1977, and he had just seen me the night before. And when he came down off the stage, he came up and he said, "I'm going to marry you." And I went, "What, are you nuts?" He said, "I saw you in The Hills Have Eyes last night, and I'm going to marry you. I love the way you scream." And we were together almost 30 years, off and on, a couple of breakups, but we were madly in love. And The Hills Have Eyes
got me a music career. It got me a husband. It got me some beautiful friends and fans. And you just never know when you do a project, and it's going to change your entire life that drastically. And I will always be grateful to Wes Craven. I'm writing on a murder mystery right now, and it's real time consuming. And I just adopted a new rescue dog who's 3 pounds. So I'm a little disjointed the next couple of weeks. And thank you both for the interview. Cool. Well, it's a process, and I look forward to the next one, guys.
Ooh, me too.
Me too.
All right.
All right, I got to get back on this book. So,
all right. Thanks, Suze, for coming on.
Love, peace, and happiness, baby.
Cool.
Thank you. Take care.
Later.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.